Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to my final Excel Online for Beginners tutorial. This video will be about the three tabs, Data, Review, and View. So without further ado, let's get started. So, data from a picture, again, you basically just open up a picture from your computer or wherever your file location is. Again, here's OCam, it's not really anywhere. You basically can open a picture from there and import data. Refresh, again, just refreshes everything in case you made some edits that were saved earlier. Queries and connections. Now, normally there's a tool called Power Query in Excel, the proper version of Excel. And it's basically this button here doesn't actually let you create queries. Instead, it just lets you search for ones that have already been created. So, unfortunately, this is one feature of Excel Online that you don't get for free. You have to actually get the proper version of Excel. But aside from that, it's nothing really to worry about. Workbook links. Again, this is just there are no links to any external workbooks. So basically, we have worksheets right here. We have sheet 1 and sheet 2, and there are no links to any other workbooks which include worksheets. There just aren't any in this particular sheet or workbook, so we don't have to worry about that. Sort ascending. Basically, if you have some text, for example, there are not necessarily text, but numbers that you want to sort, then you can just sort them ascending from descending. Custom sort, that works basically the same way. You could just sort by this, column A, center goal. If you really wanted to, you can just sort them that way. I don't really want to because I'm going to keep this spreadsheet the way it is. Filter. Basically what it does is just add filter here under ECOWAS countries. And you can see the different sort by options again that we're just going to be limited to this filter. So get rid of the filter. Clear. Not really used here. Could clear it if you really run into some trouble. So like for example, if you had multiple tables like here and there was some sort of drop down, reapply, more or less the same thing. Text to columns. So text to columns is that you can separate text into different columns. So for example, if I wanted to separate, for example, here, I wanted to separate ease of from doing business, I could just click text to columns, and then you can just select the delimiters. There are no delimiters here, so even if I click apply, it won't apply. But if I were to use some delimiters, like for example a comma here, then I clicked apply, I'll just create a new column with just the doing business part kind of lopped off on the end of the new column. Next to columns, flash fill. Basically, it's just a feature of Excel that lets you kind of flash fill or basically recognizes patterns. Like for example, when you're typing out names, like for example, if you have first and last name and you want to type out last names or something like that, it basically just recognizes patterns when you're typing in things. Remove duplicates. Again, if you just highlight this, click remove duplicates. I'm not going to click OK, but basically it just expanded everything to the whole data. So if you just don't know if there are any duplicates here, probably not. If you just click remove duplicates, then you could just again select everything, just click OK. I don't really want to risk it, but if you click OK, it should work. Data validation. It's not very useful here. Basically just checks the data if something's wrong or missing. Group. Yeah, basically moves it a little bit. It just adds this little sliding bar. No, I'm sorry, no, it doesn't do the sliding bar. It just groups basically the highlighted section here, and this ungroups it. Just moves this a little bit to the right, basically. It's not that useful. Let's see. So let's go to review. Review's not a whole lot. For example, you could just check spelling, for example. Spell check good. We just click the spelling check. Workbook statistics. This tells us a whole lot of useful statistics of our sheets. For example, we have the end of our sheet, which is all the way down at F, you can see here, and 16 under BRVM. Cells with data, we have 90 cells with data. Tables, well, we have 0. It's not really formatted in the table. Formulas, 0. We've gone over formulas in a previous episode. Charts, 1. Again, this is just the bar chart here. Workbook has 2 sheets. This is total cells and 2 charts. can't remember if there's a chart on the second one, but yeah, it just says 2 charts. Maybe it's a glitch or something, but it's not that important. Check accessibility. Again, nothing really here. It just says missing alt text here, chart 5, for example. I think it checks the accessibility from the other sheets or the workbooks. I'm not 100% sure, but again, it's not something that you really need to worry about. Show changes. This is just the history of your edits. So for example, the last edit I made was about 8 minutes ago. You can see the most recent one. Version history. Basically, it's the same thing. It saves kind of every day at around sort of the same time, though not exactly. This is just one way to kind of access your version history. So for example, I've got current version, yesterday, Tuesday, Monday, 20th, and so forth. You can restore versions of the backup if you want. New comment, again, if we just click here, it'll give us a comment. So we can just say, hello world, and it'll leave a comment here. So again, we have all these different things to show up. We can just click delete comment, next comment, show comments. Click show comments, they'll show up here. Next comment, we'll just, if we had another comment, we'll just move down the line. Previous comment is the opposite, and delete, of course, deletes our comment. So let's delete this comment. So these are gone from our show comments section. Notes are very similar. You basically just make like little notepads. So sticky. No, I'm sorry, it's a post-it note. Okay. And then of course it just gets stuck here. So we can delete the note, we can edit the note, previous note, next note, show all notes. Again, it's only one note, so we got showed once. So let's delete this note. Pause protection, again, it's not used here, so we're not going to talk too much about it. Manage protection. This will take a while to load. Protect this sheet from unwanted changes. You can select unlock specific ranges for editing while on. Okay, so it's basically just a security, just to help you kind of like not make a whole bunch of mistakes. So it's manage protection there. Pause protection pauses it apparently. And finally we have view. So view, again, you can adjust the zoom. You can go zoom out to 75%. Go zoom in to 125%. We go back to 100%. This basically returns you to 100%. So if we go to 50%, so bring us back to 100%. Although it's moved around a little bit. New window. This opens up a new window for our, let's click on that again. And just basically a duplicate window from our window that popped up in our browser. So that's a new window. Freeze panes. Basically does this. It freezes the panes more or less. Again, I had this selected, so let's see. Unfreeze panes. If I click on this, it'll basically kind of create this sort of cross here with the top left corner of our cell that's being selected. So we're going to unfreeze panes. Basically just kind of helpful if you want to isolate some certain cells, and basically freezes the panes. It's not super useful, but it's good to know about. Headings, again, if we unclick headings, we don't see anymore. We don't see the A1s or the B1s, so you don't see columns or rows. So let's go back to headings. Grid lines, what it sounds like. Just get rid of the grid lines so you can create a better chart. Formula bar. Again, this is our formula bar. This is where we type stuff in. So if we clicked on that, it would go away. Sheet view default. Again, there's only one option here for default. In Microsoft Excel Online. Exit and keep, not really useful. New sheet view. And it just alters the sort of viewing of the sheet. For example, we can see that A, like column A, B, C got changed, row 1, 2, 3. If we click on default, and we chose not to keep it, just basically have the same view. So exit the same view, keep. If we wanted to keep what we had earlier, we would just click that. Options, let's try. Notice that there are no options. And our final selection, if we do immersive reader, click on this, it should open up a new tab. It basically just displays a lot of these functions, or lots of this data in something called immersive reader. So I'll click on that. Oops. And then we have help. We have help, customer support, feedback, keyboard. You can definitely look at keyboard shortcuts if you want. There are a whole bunch here, but they're pretty helpful. So, but yeah, that was about it for the Excel tabs. And so this is probably going to be the end of my Excel series, or at least my Excel online series. I hope you all have enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.